So let me just ask both of you, when you're making a film like this, how much responsibility do you feel to Orson Welles?
I felt like a tremendous responsibility, even with the undertaking of the movie in general. I wasn't going to do it until I found a Welles that I felt could represent him properly. So that's why I was grateful to meet Christian. Now I felt, as Christian says, the old man. I felt he was with us, kind of giving his blessing.
Yeah, I felt very protective over him, kind of proprietorial, but I suppose you get like that with any role. It's just, I found it more difficult to play a real life person than a fictitious character. And I wanted to give the audience a flavor of him, rather like a forgery, rather than, you know, an impression that killed it, or an imitation, something like that. So the trick is, you know, to give a flavor that the audience can relax. And I was lucky in the sense that nobody's ever heard of me, including myself. So in that way, the audience doesn't have anything to compare me to, you know.
Yeah, I thought that was the magic. That was the extra bit of magic. I think because Christian is, as yet, you know, an unknown, so it allowed that magic you can get in cinema, where you lose yourself into it. You know, everyone has a personal relation with Welles. It's a very tough thing to do to play him. I don't know, I just thought it was really cool that maybe we could create the illusion that it is 1977 and you are hanging out with him.
Kristen, you'd already played him on stage. Did your conception of who he was or how you were going to portray him change significantly making the movie?
Well, on stage, I played him from my own age, around Harry Lime time, up to when he's 70 and 350 pounds with the beard and everything, a little coup de théâtre. So, of course, the biggest difference was forgetting all that and just concentrating on him at the beginning of his career, striving, you know, really putting his neck on the line. An independent theatre in the cauldron of that incredible time in New York, all the different theatres, but to do it independently in a time of depression was remarkable and extraordinary.
Richard, you said everybody has a relationship with Welles. I mean, what was your, you know...
Kind of in the Charles Foster Kane sense, it's changed over the years. Every time, you know, I've had different opinions about Welles at different times. Just like I see a different film every time I see Kane, I feel differently about him. I kind of have a similar thing with Welles. Early on, it was just pure reverence and awe. I think when I started making movies, I found myself a little more things that I judged him a little more harshly. Some of the things I recognized as his own, the way he maybe wasn't always his own best friend, or he created some of his own problems. I was a little more critical. You know, now I'm sort of back in the camp of just total reverence and awe at the achievement, what he does leave us, and a lot of you know, sympathy, knowing, well, this is the only way it probably could have worked out for him. He was never destined to work within any system, much less the Hollywood studio system. You know, it's amazing he got 3 films made in that system. You count, you know, Touch of Evil, and then the first 2. You know, that's pretty remarkable that he got anything done at all. And, you know, it was fun being in Europe where people see him as, Americans have this kind of, sometimes a tragic or slightly underachieving air about Welles, like, oh, what he didn't do. Well, in Europe, they just think about what he did do. He's just treated as this incredible genius, you know, so I like that vibe. For me, that's where I'm at, I've been at in this project, and remain just accepting the whole ball of wax and saying, you know, here's who he was. You know, just have to appreciate it.
Okay. All right.